Oh, yeah. And my hair is so wet right now, too. Like, I was in this massive rainstorm all morning for these events this morning.
Looks fine to me.
That I wasn't supposed to be at. Thanks, Mike.
Frankly, I look more at your facial expressions than anything else because it's so funny.
Thanks.
Oh, it's great. No, it really is. I can't tell you how it's wonderful for, like if it was just if we were just doing audio only, it would be lost. That stuff would be lost. Get to where you're going and then keep going. Gear, parts, and accessories built to explore well beyond where off-road goes off-grid. Get real deals on performance parts and off-road accessories at realtruck.com. Audio Jeeper, it's time for another Jeep Talk Show episode, and this is going to be a bit of a different kind of flagship episode for you. We're going to be talking, this sounds funny, it's going to be different. We're going to be talking about Jeep. But this is
so different.
I know. This is a different talk about Jeep. It's all good. So don't think it's like we're going to be dishing on anybody. We're not going to be talking about Renegades or Compasses or other Gyno Jeep and name only Jeeps. Actually, I was going to start this thing and then turn it over to Natalie because Natalie has been the one talking to the folks and involved in all what we're going to tell you very heavily. So Natalie, over to you.
Hey guys, well, welcome to the Jeep Talk Show and a very special episode, Tony. I'm so excited to be back with you.
It's been a while.
It has been a minute.
We're together when you record the Chic Chats, but I'm not on screen. I'm not interacting with you guys. I mean, I'm making a little random comments in the background and stuff.
Try. I'm always like, now, Tony, red Jeeps are sexy. Here we go. But welcome, guys, to this special episode with Natalie and Tony. And I'm Natalie from High Lift Off Road, where you dream it and we build it, as well as gear vehicles.
That's the big deal.
It is a big deal.
This is something that was brand new to me, and I was like, oh, good. Somebody's coming out with something different. But this is a big deal.
Trim package.
Yeah, this is a big deal. I was really impressed. The thing that impressed me the most was the embroidered seats.
Yes.
Because to me, that's the next level.
It is.
I mean, when you buy a Rubicon, you have Rubicon embroidered on the seats, but this is even bigger than that. The gear is actually bigger than that, than the Rubicon
This is bigger than that. I agree with you. With cat skin, leather seats, guys, the gear is officially out and ready for you to hit the trails or the soccer pitch. It's ready to go.
Now, give people an idea of what we're talking about here. So gear is like a package. It's like Rubicon, but it's not something directly from Jeep. This is something that Gear is putting out, working with Jeep.
It is. So the gear was born on the trail, but it's built for the dealership showroom. So it is actually a turnkey upgrade program designed to help sell more Jeeps and to capture accessories right off the showroom floor. So what's amazing about your guys' Jeep dealerships is they have what's called the Jeep Performance Parts Mopar affiliated catalog right there in the dealership, where you guys can get things like the Rock Slide drop down power steps or those epic Jeep windshield wipers. And so what the gear really is, it's a fully warranted and off-road capable vehicle that the customer can finance right into their deal with a majority of the Mopar affiliated family of products. From, like I said, Rockside Engineering, the Bilstein 8100 and the 5160 shocks, Baja Design lights, Tyree lights, you name it. If you're part of the Mopar affiliated program, you can actually get it.
So you correct me on any of this stuff that I'm going to ask or say. Now, to me, one of the most intriguing things about having a Jeep, a Wrangler, or a Gladiator is making that vehicle your own. Making modifications to it that are different than, like, say, the Rubicon trim.
Yes. Yep.
And this is what the gear thing does for you, right? Because now you can have something that's not something everybody else is going to have.
Correct. So dealerships can order them directly through Gear Vehicles right out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's upfitted by High Lift Off Road. And the gear comes in different stages, but we like to call them shifting gears. So we have Gear 1, Gear 2, and Gear 3.
Sales, gotta love it.
Talk about marketing fun, right?
Uh-huh.
But the gear 2 is the majority right now. We actually have 3 of those that are out and about, and they're all serialized as well. So it's nice to have your own serial number. So right now, actually, I was just with gear serial number 3. She's at Cronin of Lebanon, and they did a fun cars and coffee today. So she is available, guys. She's for sale. Ready.
Was this the blue one?
This is the silver, the Zenith silver. So if
so people should understand this is just getting started. In fact, the gear vehicle was displayed at Jeep Jam. What was it, a week ago?
Daytona Jeep Beach.
Okay.
Jeep Jam is coming by Muddy Buddies in September.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad that's coming. Here to keep me accurate.
No, you're good.
So the cool thing was. Yeah, the cool thing is that at least I thought the Jeep concept vehicles were out there in a big circle, and the gear Jeep was part of that circle.
She is part of that circle, but the best part is it's no longer a concept, right? Like it went from concept and it went to the concept dome and came out a beautiful princess ready for your showroom and lot and also for your garage. So it made it past.
Natalie, wake up. Dream's over.
I know.
Let's keep all your personal stuff out of this.
I know, right?
But the point is that there's only 3 of them, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be more.
Correct.
And you can order them through. Is it all dealerships? If you're looking at a Jeep, you can tell them I want a gear vehicle.
You can, yes, but the majority right now is through the JPP affiliated dealership, so Jeep Performance Parts, and that's where you can, like I said, get those parts directly from your dealership, and they can upfit you. But if you would like the gear, which is special, which encompasses a majority of those parts already ready to go and packaged and financed for you, that's where you can also get that.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to understand because the parts, all the the JPP stuff is available to everyone.
It is.
But the gear vehicles are the ones that have specific upgrades and stuff to it.
They are.
So when you say the JPP affiliated dealers, so that means that if you're at a Jeep dealership, you may or may not be at a JPP affiliated dealer.
Correct. But I know the goal behind Jeep Performance Parts is to be available at all dealerships.
Sure.
Some amazing sales associates through Jeep Performance Parts that are making their way across the country with different areas. And I actually was talking with Ken out of Texas. Texas is a big one, guys.
Thank you.
They're very ready to start having the gear available in Texas, which it is available.
Oh, it's a great idea. I call bullshit a lot on this show, and I don't think this is bullshit at all. This is nice because there's stuff on this Jeep that you can't get on a Rubicon, a Sahara, or any of the models that are there. Correct.
Like those seats you were talking about from Catskin. And you guys do go to Gear Vehicles on social, you will see it. It's a really cool, it's the black leather. We take your stock seat and take that Catskin leather and put it over top and sew it in, and it's all OEM plus.
It's
right?
Factory, yeah. It's just like factory, right?
And it's warranted 336. You cannot beat it with 1 year of labor.
So that's a long time to be in labor. I just got to say.
I know. What are we thinking?
I think it's like elephants or something. Anyway, so the thing I'm getting here to is that if you're interested in a Jeep, you've heard about the gear Jeeps. You want a gear Jeep, when you go to the dealership or when you call, you need to ask them, do you sell gear Jeeps?
Yes.
And just because you have 3 of them doesn't mean they can't get one too, because when all 3 of these are gone, that's not the end.
Correct. Well, actually, Miss Pink, the Tuscadero Pink that we built for SEMA, she did sell, and she's with an amazing lady up in Michigan. So super excited that it was actually a lady that got the first one. So the one of one, the Tuscadero Pink is definitely one of one. And then we have the Fathom Blue, which is number 2. And if you guys were down at Daytona International Speedway, she was there with all of her concept friends hanging out. And then the Zenith Silver is number 3 up here in Lebanon, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati.
So you're going to need to make sure you send me some pictures any video that I can add to this, so that we can, have people look at these things, because we want people to know about this.
And Gear is available, but she's out in Moab still, actually, from Easter Jeep Safari. We left her out there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that too.
And you had some information about EJS. Unfortunately, I wasn't there this year, but you had a lot of fun at EJS with Jeep Performance Parts and some of the people associated with that, with the gear build.
Well, Tony, I think you made a good point in a post. No one tells Natalie no. We definitely someone learned that the hard way.
I wasn't going to bring that up. I don't want to get you in trouble, but that's
no,
fine.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, because you were going. No, I'm not going. And then boom, I see you showing up in pictures out there, and I'm like,
I know. And I kind of just kept it to myself till I got there, and then I sent Janet the text of Janet ... and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I knew this was going to happen." But I was telling a lot of the as a woman in the industry, there's not a lot of us, and there could be. There's not a ceiling for women in this industry. We need more of us. But I always say, never make yourself the option. Make yourself the only option. So. I
don't know a lot of the team at High Lift, but to me, just working with you here on the show, you're a lot of fun. You're very active in your engagement. And I can imagine it's the same way in person. And to me,
it can be.
That's what you need out there selling expensive things like Jeeps.
Well, thank you. I'm very passionate about this project. I will say, when we really do feel it, the creators behind the gear and just this whole program in general, it's such a collaboration with, the iconic brand, as in Jeep Performance Parts, High Lift Off-Road, and then all of those Mopar affiliate, you have their names still on these parts. So it's not replaced with Mopar. There is Bilstein right there on your Jeep. There's Rockslide right there. There's Catskin with the Mopar logo right underneath it. It's such a collaboration of all these epic brands coming together. And I don't think it's never really been done before. Yes, there's been different trim packages, but to actually see
the only company that's done this is like Jeep, like when they did the Lara Croft Tomb Raider Jeep, they've had Call of Duty model.
Black Ops. Yep.
Yeah. This is kind of the same thing, except it's not just a couple of them. It's not just one package.
Correct. And it's through the Mopar affiliated program. I'm going to keep saying it because it's such a big deal, because that's where the warranty comes from. So it really does make sense when you are buying off the lot, because it's the ultimate Lego.
Yeah.
The Jeep really is. It's the ultimate Lego, and you really can customize this one. If the standard Gear 2 package comes with 17 wheels. Well, if you want those 20s with a floating center cap, you can do that. It just costs just a tiny bit extra, but you can definitely customize it how you want as a dealership or a customer.
And you got to keep this in mind too. We're getting ready to talk about EJS and off-roading, but of course you do not have to be an off-roader to own a Jeep. I mean, you see the Jeep, you see the top off. I mean, who doesn't like a rag top convertible?
Exactly.
And lifted and badass looking tires. No, you don't have to take it off-road.
No, you don't.
We think that if you do, you're going to go, oh, holy shit, I should have done this sooner.
Right? Yes, you will. And you won't void the warranty. That's the best part.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Try that with your Prius.
Right? Exactly. Or the Chevy Spark. Come on.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Never heard of it before you. So tell me about the EJS thing. What did you do out there with EJS having to do with JPP, the gear vehicle, so on and so forth?
So gear is also, so it started with, day one was actually going out with Warn Industries, and Warn is also becoming part of the affiliated program. And so Gear Vehicle is building a limited edition run of 200 of the Warn Gladiator, the Warn Elite, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So it did debut on Sunday out there on a ride with Warn, and they were doing a great collaboration with Motor Trend magazine. So we also brought Gear 3 with us, who actually is our little twin. You guys have heard me talk about little twin. I had the pleasure of driving her for a year when my Jeep was down, and that girl wears many hats. Now she's Gear Stage 3. So, being able to go out there with Warn and really showcase what gear vehicles can do. So we built a Gladiator, all done with the Warn Industry family of products, from Fab Fours, Fab Tech, and then, their bumpers. So it came from the Warn Elite bumper, and it comes on 37 all-terrains, or mud terrains, I'm sorry, and she is beautiful with Tyree lights on a light bar on the back. Like, that thing lit up the night. Let me tell you, we did a night shoot.
Tyree lights are amazing.
They are. And Eric is fantastic, and Cole, I got to spend the week with them, and
Cole's okay.
Yeah, Cole's is okay. You're right.
No, Cole's okay. I don't know about Eric, but Cole's okay.
Eric, I know. Come on, Eric. That blue Jeep of his, I swear. But it was really neat to be able to see the family of gear coming together on that first day. And then the big day for all of us was the first Monday of EJS. So it's a week-long, celebration of Jeep, and you get to go wheeling with all your favorite industry brands and make new friends, see old ones, maybe connect with us from the podcasting. I mean, that's where I got to meet Janet and Amanda for the first time, and Zabo. And it was so exciting to see everybody that you feel
This all sounds well and good. All the goober smooching you're doing, mention all the company names and all the people
I'm
and
too
stuff.
good at it, aren't
But
I? But it's so true.
how did the gear wheel? How did it do off road?
It gets me emotional. I got to be honest, because I was following people on, 40s and 42s, and I'm on the Mickey Thompson, 37 mud terrains, and on a 3.5 rock crawler lift. And I know I'm name dropping, but it's all these.
No. This is fine because we're getting into the fun part of off roading.
We are, and we did Moab Rim, and there's a couple moments. A few moments on Moab Rim that you feel it. At one point, I thought Michael Bailey he wanted to exit stage right out of the vehicle because I made him a little bit nervous. We were a little bit teetery.
Well, it's different not being in control. If you're not in control, it is scary.
It is, and I knew we were fine. I just needed a second to. Sometimes you just got to take a second to reevaluate. Right. And he was like, "I'm getting out of here." I was like, "You're not leaving. You are not. Don't shift the weight." So, but to follow people on 40s and 42s, and then here comes me with the Rubicon stock fenders. And didn't rub. She flexed so amazing. And people were literally chanting off the lot, because literally this is a Jeep you can get off.
Well, I mean, you've said it several times, but I want to make it clear for the audience. This is the way the gear Jeep is built.
Yes.
With the 37s, the lift that you mentioned. What was it? Rock.
It's going to be a rock crawler 3.5.
Rock crawler 3. Yep. Yeah. So you are using what people can buy from the dealership. From the gear Jeep that they can buy or order through the dealership. Absolutely.
And I do wish I would have had gear 2, because we shift gears, right? So I do wish gear 2, I could have really shown what she could do as well on 35s, because I do think I could have done a good majority of some of the things that we were doing.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
With a lot more caution. But just having it out there and being something that, like I said, you get off the lot and it's bundled all together. It's just absolutely amazing that you can go do that. But Monday, really, I think we got to hit it home because Jeep Performance Parts invited 50 of their top dealership representatives to come out and experience Easter Jeep Safari. So they get to leave the dealership.
Oh, that's brilliant. That absolutely. People need to understand what it is that you can do with a Jeep. Yeah.
Yes. And there was a meeting. They had to do a couple meetings, as always, right?
Oh, no, it can't all be fun. You got to pay somehow.
Exactly. So, but they invited a lot of the Mopar affiliated family of products to come, and we assisted on a trail ride with them on 7 Mile Rim. And so it was I literally walked into this room and I'm with, brands that I've idolized from day one. There we are, and there's Bill Stein, there's Mickey Thompson.
Well, you guys have been working with these people, and you've known about these people for a while, but this was a fun time.
It was
to come together and have all these parts that came together on the gear, just like the people were coming together to enjoy it off-road.
Exactly.
It's brilliant.
It is. And, AccuAir is there, and Tyree is there, and here's High Lift Off-Road is there. I mean, hello. To be able to be in the same room, like I said, for me, especially all these brands that I've looked up to and idolized and wanted on my own personal rig. And there I am in the same room. And all the dealership representatives were assigned to different vehicles that, are brought to you by the brand. So like we had Bill Stein, people ride with Bill Stein, people ride with geared vehicles. And it was Javier and I on this ride, and Javier had the pleasure of being the media for Jeep Performance Parts for the day. And oh my gosh, he killed it. Of course. Had the drone out doing
that's what the Jeep Talk Show is shooting for. So we can go to EJS or go to these places and have a media person or persons. Yes. Because there's so much stuff that goes on. You don't have time to capture it all yourself.
You don't. And I was doing that, right? And being able to talk about the show and, what inside my own rig with, I had Sean from JPP, and Sean was fantastic. And Taylor, I found out they specifically chose us to ride with. And I was really happy about that. Yes. I was like, well, thanks guys. I appreciate you. And I got to talk about, the show and gear and high lift, and they really got to experience what the vehicle does. I did offer for them to drive several times, and they told me no, they were just happy riding. But people did switch around, which was pretty neat. So then I had a great gentleman from a dealership in Michigan come in, and he was so excited about the gear, and a parts manager out of Chicago. And then I had a young lady from Denver riding with me. So it was really neat to see all these different people being able to, hop around and switch. So, and then Kevin Smith from Rockslide Engineering had his personal 392 out there, and Chantel from Jeep was driving it, and Mopar, and that girl had such a good time.
Just making noise with the
Oh,
392
yeah.
It would be
Yep.
fun. Yeah. I
We did
remember
have a
from my V8
rental.
days.
There was a rental that made an appearance. Oh my gosh, I forget who had it. I'm so sorry. I'm totally blanking. I think it was Catskin, actually. I think Catskin had the rental and they killed it. They did
Oh,
such a
those
good
poor
job.
bastards.
I know. They did so good. So that was always a fun part. We get to
Catskin, I'll just mention this. I didn't mention it earlier. Catskin is an amazing product. We've had them on the show, and the things that I learned about what they do and how they make it, it's just absolutely beautiful. And of course, I asked them the question about leather. You know, isn't it better to have cloth? And then they were able to explain to me how the leather lasts longer. It's easier to clean. I had no idea. This is one of the wonderful things about doing interviews.
It is.
So
I tested it too out there. it was dusty, and I did not take like the top down or anything like that. I wanted to, but there was a lot of wind going on. And I think I'll be cleaning the red dirt out of or red sand out of Gear 3 or
well, see, this is what I was going to ask. So somebody that buys and Gear 3 is available for sale. How would somebody contact you about about the Gear 3 or any of the two gears that you have left?
So gearvehicles.com or on Gear Vehicles, any social platform, but Gear Vehicles, it's a yellow logo on all the platforms. The Gear logo is a G that looks like actually a gear. And where it was born from was actually the Jeep Performance Parts logo. So that logo looks like, our badging that comes in all of our Jeep Wranglers, guys, where it says, 4x4 rated or trail rated on the side of your Jeep. So that's where
is there going to be a gear rated badge now?
There is. It's already on there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Javier, you know him. Oh, he's all over that. So
okay, so let me ask you this. Yeah. I had a wonderful $1 million Jeep Talk Show idea that I shared with you. I think we were chatting online. And I sent you a picture of like the cheese head,
Oh, yes,
the big cheese, but it's a gear head where you have this, it has a double meaning, the gear head thing, but it's a big gear. So is there been any progress on getting the gear modeled for the hat?
We need a hat.
Because I'm supposed to be talking to Michael Bailey, so I can still try to make it happen.
I think you make it happen, and you both have to wear it if he ever comes on the show.
Oh, no, this is you when you're out there, and anytime you're in a meeting having to do with the gear vehicles.
Right, exactly. Oh, my gosh. I'm sure Warren would love that.
So there was no damage to Gear 3 out at Moab. So the only thing that somebody would get was a lot of red dirt, and you want this red dirt because it's from Moab.
You do. It was my first time going back since 2023, and that's when I really fell in love with all of this, and it changed my life. I always said Moab changed my life because I went there with High Lift as a guest on one of their all-inclusives, which we're about to go back and do. And now
that's great. You're getting to go back. Is the gear vehicle stayed there because it's going to be in part of this, right?
It is. Yep. So the gear is there, and our truck and trailer is still there. Hence all my rentals I've been doing to get to the other events.
So is this something somebody can, if they'd like to go to Moab, maybe they didn't go to EJS, or maybe they just like a reason to go out there. Is this something that anybody could come out to and see the gear vehicle while you're in Moab again?
If they direct message, please do. If you guys are in Moab, May 18th through the 23rd, we'll say the 23rd, and you would like to see Gear 3, we will be there, and I would love to meet you. So you'll see us out there. You'll see all the High Lift off-road rigs. I have 8 rigs going of customer rigs, all High Lift off-road built or looked at or maintained, and we're very excited. It's a whole new group that's going, so I'm very excited to host them.
So the wonderful thing about Moab is it is like being on a different planet, literally. I mean, if you're in Moab, if you're in Utah, probably not. But for me, being from Southeast Texas, they're definitely a different planet. But the Jeeps that are out there during EJS is wonderful to see. Jeeps out there with their concept vehicles. You guys were out there with the gear vehicle this year, and it was wonderful. But I'll tell you, the best ththing about going to EJS is the interaction with the people.
Yes, it is. And there's so many industries. So they call them parties. So you'll hear, even like at SEMA, right? We talked about all the quote parties Natalie was going to. It's not just like, it's where you go to network. It's where you go to meet people. They're actually really important. Warren does a big one in conjunction with a lot of different brands. Rock Crawler is a big part of it. Where they take over Zach's. It's a pizza place in downtown Moab, and it has an upper level that's all open. It's really cool. I swear, every single person that went to EJS came to that party. That's where I met Angie, Purple Haze JKU, who I interviewed with Janet on Chic Chat. So excited to meet her. Here she comes. I see her bright red hair. I knew instantly, oh my gosh, there she is. and, got to meet her, and it was super exciting. And it's a place to really see everyone you've ever wanted to talk to.
All right, so I know we're not done talking about gear or EJS or Jeep, but just because I want to, let's talk about Jeep Talk Show. What about the conversations about Jeep Talk Show out there? Were you recognized by people that you hadn't spoken to, or
a couple times? Yes, and it's so funny. I still don't. I'm not used to it still. Like even at other shows I go to, people come up to the booth and be like, "Is Natalie from the Jeep Talk Show here?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like no way! Like this is still mind blowing to me." But also your show, Tony, it touches a lot of lives. We love it. So thank you.
That makes me smile, because
you give us a safe place to be Jeep nerds.
Well, it's doing something that people enjoy and people look forward to, and that's the big deal to me. So when people talk about it in person, or reach out to you folks oh, hey, you're so and so, you're so, I think it's wonderful.
Well, Tony, to me, you hit such a home run, because the Jeep Talk Show, which is was invited by Jeep and Jeep Performance Parts, of course.
You're going to make me cry.
I am going to make you cry, because it was such an honor. And so guys, since you're all listening, I'm going to dote. But Jeep Talk Show was invited to a really, really cool event that Jeep Performance Parts put on out in Easter Jeep Safari. It was on Tuesday, and they were involved with all of the top influencers that were invited to EJS to come to this event. So they were rubbing elbows with Off-Road and Chill, my favorite, Luna and Marlon. And to be in the same category, it's a big deal, and it's an honor. And I know, I was so proud to be a part of the Jeep Talk Show name, and I want people to know that. So thank you so much. But it was a really cool thing that Jeep did. They really want, social media is changing everything. Podcasting is changing everything, and how we get our information.
And the companies are starting to see this, not just Jeep, not just Stellantis, but the companies are starting to see this and understand that the standard media is it's important, but it's kind of gone by the wayside. And I'll drop the other shoe. We were invited. Chris from Jeep Talk Show, Chris, if you've done interviews, you've seen Chris on the show. Chris does our gets our interview guests for us and does other things.
He has that voice,
and does interviews at events. He was going to go. He was really excited about going, and at the last minute he couldn't. His father-in-law died, and he had to attend a funeral.
He did.
I think it was Monday.
It was.
So it would have been really hard for him to drive the 2,400 miles from Michigan to Moab.
It's a 30-hour drive. I mean, Matt and I did it. We did it, I think, in 23 hours. But the time change helped. But we never even turned our truck off. That's how we had to do it to get out there on time. So I couldn't even imagine him even trying to do it on time to get to that event. But definitely, you guys were noticed, and it was so great. And everyone with their Meek Magnet Jeep Talk Show label or logos, Meek Magnets on their Jeeps. It was like literally Jeep Talk Show has such a presence, and I was so excited.
Oh, and it was wonderful. I think we had 40 people from Jeep Talk Show out there this year. I have to double check that.
God.
Yeah, I think I have to double check that figure, but I believe that's correct. We had we ordered 16 Meek Magnet logos, 18-inch. Jeep Talk Show Meek Magnet logos. Yeah. She sent us 18.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was amazing.
I just found out just the other day that she actually sent us, and when I say she, Monica from Meek Magnets, the M in Meek Magnets.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's, I think that's her initials, her name's initials. Anyway, she sent us extras. And that was just so nice. I haven't even thanked her yet. I didn't get them. Steve O got them, and when he got them, he didn't count them.
I mean, taking inventory is important, but that's okay.
I think so too. But anyway, so we had a bunch of Jeeps out there with the Jeep Talk Show stickers on them, and it wasn't like they had to put a sticky logo on there and then worry about peeling it off. Yeah. The Meek Magnets you put on. You use them, they stay there. They actually make full body armor.
Yes, they do.
For the Jeep. So it's not just logos.
I think Zabo has it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And so the very, very nice product. And I just wanted to put that out there that Monica actually sent us, I think, 2 extras, which was really, really nice.
Well, seeing Amanda pull in, because that's how we met. It was random. We did not know we were all going to be at the Maverick gas station.
Like, Jeep Talk Show. Amanda.
Literally, she's pulling in. And I was like, man, look at that cool Jeep. And then she makes the turn to go into a pump. And there's the Jeep Talk Show Meek Magnet. And I was like, oh my God, that's Walker,
They were very
Texas,
easy to see. Yeah, they were really easy easy to see.
Very, very easy to see. It was so neat being able to meet her, like just at a random moment. Like it wasn't, planned and it was, that excitement was so real. I was like, oh my God, there she is.
So were you at the Tuesday event?
I unfortunately was not because I had to be somewhere else.
No problem. I thought we would talk about that, but if you weren't there,
I know a lot about it. So they did this epic...
what happened? I mean, you talked about what it was, what they were doing. Basically, it was a get-together for dealers and Jeep influencers.
Yes, and what they got to do. So out on 7 Mile Rim, actually, that's where the concepts were, and they were keeping them out there. Little side behind the scenes moment. So Monday, I saw them. We were coming towards the end of the trail, and all these Jeeps are covered in tarps. And there's this whole setup going on, and there's like a kitchen area, there's cameras everywhere, and we're rolling up, and they didn't even tell us. And we're rolling up, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are the concept vehicles, because no one had seen them yet. They debuted them online, but no one knew where they were in Moab.
Right.
So they were waiting out there for the next day. They were doing some photography and everything, but as influencers and the dealership representatives, they got to go out, and the influencers and media got to drive them.
I'm going to tell, I don't know that this is true or not, but I'm going to tell Chris that he could have driven a concept vehicle if he had got his ass there.
Yeah,
I know.
He could have driven Rewind.
Death in the family, but still.
I know. His father-in-law would have wanted it that way.
It was a father-in-law. It's not like it was a direct relative. I mean, I know. I'll catch hate for that.
Yes. Chris, it's okay. I promise. But then they went to this really cool venue called the Red Earth venue. I was there the day before, and it's an all glass venue, and you're in the canyon, and oh my gosh, like the sun sets right there, and all the Jeeps are around. When we went, we were lucky enough, we got to stage around the venue. Yeah, that's us. So it was actually, that venue is beautiful. I know, right? So they did a drone show, which was super cool. So if you guys go on Jeep.com or Jeeps on all their social platforms, they're still showing the drone show. Very, very cool. Very cool. But thank you, Jeep Talk Show. You guys made it, man. You made it. You're there.
Well, we came right to the edge.
Right there.
It's just like, taking that first dip in the pool. We got right up to the edge.
Yep. You were invited to the prom, just couldn't get your prom dress on. That's how I looked at it. So, but I swear, all week, Jeep Talk Show was there. So it made it really great.
Well, and it was all because of you guys. Not just you, not just the High Lift, not just Natalie, but also too Janet. Amanda was out there, and then we had those 40 people that were wandering around every place with stickers and Jeep Talk Show flags, and Eaton having to say, no, you can't have more steaks at the Sunset Grill Wednesday night thing.
Oh my gosh.
No, you've eaten enough. No, go away.
They had a great table at Sunset Grill. I got there a little late because I did attend a Moab wedding. I mean, because let's just cram more things in. It was actually a Warren wedding. Corby got married. Corby with Warren Industries. It was so beautiful. And let me tell you, I think he stole my idea. I swear. I always said if I would do it again, I want to do it out there. But we had to wheel to get there. It was this canyon that was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it was so fitting. Everyone's in wheeling gear. I thought, well, I'm going to a wedding, wear a dress. Terrible idea. Thank God I packed extra clothes, threw those jeans on right away, realized what was happening. And it was so neat. And then we got to go, of course, after that to where the Jeep Talk Show was, and other people with the Northridge and Bill Stein get together that they hosted for everyone. It was really neat. Like everyone in Moab was there. I swear.
Famous Jeeps, Sarge, WW2, Willie's Jeep from Cars. In our famous Jeep series, perhaps we generally cover real-life group vehicles, whether on film or television, set belonging to notable figures of all previous features, like Val and Earl's J20 Gladiator from Tremors. Daisy Duke's CJ7 have focused on tangible vehicles until now. In this month's famous Jeep features, we're talking about things beyond the physical world to little known, inspired by old Route 66. In a quaint town of Radiator Springs, Sarge Willis runs a well-stocked Army surplus store where you'll find him socializing with residents and pawning night vision goggles to misguided race cars. Of course, we're referencing the Disney Pixar's Cars and one of its most notable characters, a grouchy World War II era Willis MB. Stay tuned as we explore this iconic character and his role in the Cars franchise and more. So you're going to learn here on this Real Truck blog, realtruck.com blog, the film, the Jeep, and you can build your own Cars-inspired CJ7. You can find this over at realtruck.com/blog. Just go to realtruck.com/blog and search for famous Jeeps Sarge Willis Cars. And it's Willys, even though it's pronounced Willis. So go over there and check it out. I think you'll find this this blog article very interesting. And there's a whole bunch of other blogs right there at realtruck.com/blog. So do you know about Ma and Pa's? I think it's Pa's Garage is what it's called. Do you know about that place? Grandpa's Garage. Yeah.
Tony, I got to go. I didn't understand where I was going at first. Sorry, a cat is trying to come over here and I have cheese. Sorry, guys, I was eating a little cheese before we got started. It was the first night. So Saturday, I get there from driving all night. Not going to lie. I was a little bit cranky, just a tiny. Everyone will know I was a little cranky.
Cranky Natalie is not something you want to go through.
Great.
Unless you just want to enjoy winding her up.
Yeah, and don't worry. Between Matt, Mike, and Javier, they did, and Jeff Pratt, they all did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So Warren took the Jeep out wheeling that day and needed a little bit of modification. So we were told to come find them at Grandpa's Garage, and I'm like, where are we going? And it's so dark, and we're back in this neighborhood, and we pull up to this house, and it looks like no one's home. And we get out and I was like, guys, we're at someone's house. Like, what are we doing? They're like, no, we're going to find it. We're supposed to be here. They said it's this location. And I'm thinking, we're going to get arrested. We're at just someone's random house. It looks like no one's there. We're walking around in the dark. You go around to this back area and all of a sudden there's this epic garage back there. And there's all these people.
Yep.
I walk through the door and there's Charlene Bauer right there. And you all know how I feel about her.
Well, you know, she can walk there because I was told last year by Ma.
She lives.
Yeah. This I mean, like a stone's throw from Grandpa's Garage. She's hating it. Every time I mention this, I'm sure she's hating it. People are cruising around looking for her.
My bad mood completely went away. And I'm like, holy moly. And there's the Warren Gladiator being worked on by all these people. And I'm like, whoa. And then, but walking in and there's Charlene. I was like, and she's like, hey. And I was like, oh my God. She talked to me. Oh my gosh.
So did you use the bathroom while you were there?
No.
In the garage?
I wish.
So if you had to use the bathroom, you would have seen a Jeep Talk Show sticker.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Javier and I were working on, he put me to work, thank goodness. And so we did a custom 3D print for the back of the Gladiator tailgate. And so it flew in with Javier because the Jeep had already left before it was finished. So we actually had to finish a little bit of this Jeep while we were out there. And they 3D printed the back. Instead of saying Gladiator or Jeep, it says Warren.
Oh, nice.
It looks so cool. And so he and I were working on that and he was showing me how to do, how to put something on like that. And so
because you have to have like a template or a lot of measuring. Yeah.
Yep. Vivid Wraps helped us with that out of here in Cincinnati. And oh my gosh, the 3D print was absolutely beautiful. And it's black. It's just like stone cold black. I mean, it looks so good on the back of that tailgate. And not, have it to say Warren. Like, how cool is that? So,
yeah, absolutely. Well,
it's pretty neat.
You're going to see more and more stuff like that as the 3D printing gets bigger and bigger. Yeah. There's a lot of it now.
But Grandpa's Garage is legit. And there was Grandma's Jeep and Grandpa's Jeep, and they have it on the windshield decals. And I was like, and I just couldn't believe everything, like all the posters on the wall. Like, you just knew you were in somewhere. Like what that place has seen. It was like
off-road garage. I mean, off-road church.
Yes.
You were like at a church for off-road vehicles.
Absolutely. Like I just felt so lucky to even be there. And then unfortunately I was so tired. So I lasted probably 45 minutes. And then I went to Little Twin, also known as Gear 3, and went in the back seat and fell asleep. I was so tired from driving and being up for that long. And then all of a sudden this bright light is shining. It like woke me up. They opened the garage doors and there's sleeping Natalie. I felt so stupid. I was like, oh my God, so embarrassed. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to take a nap. I just couldn't do it.
So where I was going with this is that I last year when I was there, I actually went to the Motobuilt event that was at Grandpa's Garage.
Yes, and they did it again.
I had been there at Grandpa's Garage the year before. So the 2 years that I went, I was there. The first year I was invited to a SEMA Torah meeting.
Ooh.
And went out there and was working or talking to a lot of people there in the garage. It was just a big meet. It wasn't anything.
Well, see,
anything
you know that big
official.
table that's there, that one like the high top table. That table's incredible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then this last year, 2024, I talked my wife into going, and then she's with me. And
I didn't realize she was with you. That's amazing.
Yeah, and since she is much better at dealing with the public and strangers than I am, she actually started up a conversation with Grandma and got introduced to Grandpa.
No way.
And then she brought me over there and had me talking to those two.
The power of an epic spouse or partner. I swear.
Oh, absolutely. And so my idea is that for this year, it didn't work out, but for this year, I was going, the Jeep Talk Show needs to have an event like Motobuilt had.
Yes.
At Grandpa's garage.
Yes.
And it didn't happen, obviously. I didn't go this year, just couldn't. And but maybe
Tony, meeting you
next
this year
year
would have been the ultimate like icing on the cake.
Yeah. What I was going to say is maybe next year.
Yes.
We can do Jeep Talk Show and High Lift Off Road.
Or gear vehicles, or both.
Or gear vehicles, or all three.
We are one and the same, but
because I think that because I don't think it costs anything. I think you have to provide your own stuff. Like they don't provide drinks or anything like that. Yeah. So it's just they just make it available. Yeah. And it actually might be too late to quote unquote rent the garage. I think Grandpa and Grandma just like having people come over there and they talking to them. Yeah.
They were so nice and and just being there like on an off time where it wasn't like showtime, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It really was an incredible moment. Like I really had to like kind of pinch myself, like wake up, Natalie, like look where you are. Do not fall asleep. Well, I did. But it's just,
I've been very lucky, and it was 100% because of having the show, being invited to these things. So the two times I've been to EJS, I've gone there. I mean, the Motobuilt thing was really nice. And I mentioned this before. Cool. I got to talk to Dan, owner of Motobuilt. I spoke with him a long time. And then, as you can well imagine, Bender was busy with people. I eventually just had to go to say, screw it, I'm getting ready to leave. I have to say hello to Bender. Yep. And Bender looked at me like, who the hell are you? And I said, I'm Tony with the Jeep Talk Show. He's like, Tony, this is super friendly type thing. If you do the
voice, Tony, they're going to know who you are.
Yeah. So I've had Bender on the show a couple of times.
Oh, that's so cool.
And just had really good conversations. So I finally got to meet him. And I'll mention this. This is the really other cool thing about it. It's not just EJS. I'm sure it's any of these events where people influencers, people that you see on YouTube, people you see on TV, you get to meet them and see them in person. And that is a wonderful feeling. It's like you get to know these people because you're watching them or listening to them or reading the things that they post. And then to actually get to meet them and make that connection is really,
That's
really
how
nice.
I feel about Charlene. I mean, I follow her and Ladies Off-Road Network, and she's taught me so much, and she does her Tuesday night lives. And I swear it's like I have dinner with her on Tuesday nights because I watch, and it's so important what everyone does for one another. And then all of a sudden there she is, just, hey. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then seeing her Jeep around town like it was nothing, because we actually stayed really close to her neighborhood. And we'd be driving by, and there she is, just pulling out in that BF Goodwrench green, Jeep. And I was like,
it's just people. It's just people like us,
right? They are just like us, but also I was like,
logically and factually, they're just people.
I know,
but it's different. Yes. There's the mystique of being in the public eye, and
there is.
Yeah, like I'm special. I actually got to interact in one-on-one type thing.
But I mean, I can't say enough.
She really was talking just to me.
I know. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, if you only knew, like, I've seen you a few times. I've been too scared to come up and talk to you, which is so silly. Like, please come up and talk to me. Like, don't be scared. The bucket of joy is ready for you. So, and she is too. Like, I mean, she's great lady. So,
yeah. I saw her briefly last year at the Sunset Grill and said hello to her. Yeah. The year before that, when we were going out on the Quadratech run on the Metal Masher, she was there, and I got to talk to her longer there. But she's a lot of fun
this year. I want to do Metal Masher so bad, so we'll see.
Okay, so anyway, we talked about gear. We talked about EJS. Was there?
We can talk about Daytona. We gotta get Jeep Beach out in the open, because if you guys have never been, we gotta talk about this. So not only did gear go to Moab, gear also had to go to Daytona, like everyone else. So this year it was kind of a lot on the industry. It overlapped, which it rarely does. So
that was the reason why you may not have been going to EJS.
Correct. And I see, honestly, I actually now after doing these past 2 weeks, I get why Mike was like, I really just want you to focus on Daytona. It's gonna be very hard to do both. And he was not wrong.
It's more concentrated because it's not wide open like Moab is. You're going I've already forgotten it. What was it called?
Daytona, GB.
Daytona. Yeah. So the Daytona thing, that's more concentrated where you have a lot of people in more of one spot. And a lot of people don't get this about EJS. EJS could be 30 miles from one point to the other.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. It's so big, and you're on the trail all day, where with Daytona is more of a street event. That's what I look at that. Yeah. It's a street event. It's a vendor show.
And there's a track, and you guys were actually set up inside the track, right?
We were in pit row. It was so cool. And so it was great because I was in 2 different spots. So I had the High Lift Off-Road Gladiator, the Beast, as part of the Maxxis family. So she got to be in the Maxxis booth on her 42 Treps. And also with Off-Road and Chill, actually their brand new JK that they just built was in there on the Razors. So they were on one end, I was on the other, and I got to drive the Gladiator actually every day in and out. And oh my gosh, as you guys know, there is a 392 in there. But I know it's actually it's super, I don't know, it's not supercharged, but there's a turbo or something in it. So it's a little over 500 horsepower. And I felt so lucky to be able to drive in and out in that thing every day with the sun coming up. You're driving right in front of Daytona International Speedway, and there's the front of the speedway. And I had the half doors on, and it was just, whoa. And I have the Jeep Performance Parts logo. I have their uniform on for the first time because I got to represent them with geared vehicles. But I was in the Jeep Performance Parts booth, so I got to wear the uniform. And as someone who got a Jeep for her 16th birthday, it was pretty surreal.
I was just thinking,
uniform on.
I was just thinking, this is so cool. We're getting to know a famous person at the moment that she's getting famous.
Oh gosh, I wouldn't say that, but
involved in all this stuff.
Thank you. But it was just, I know I'm Italian. We feel things probably deeper than most, but I was very sentimental because my dad's really into NASCAR, and he still is a major Dale Earnhardt fan. And to be at Daytona, like, it just was, I've never been there before. So to actually be there for the first time and coming in that vehicle for the first time, which was gear vehicle, coming through the tunnel, going underneath to come into the infield. It was just,
that's neat. Whoa. That makes sense. I didn't ever thought about that. You can't drive across the track, can you? No. There has to be some underground thing.
So you go underneath turn 1, which turn 1, so Maxxis was facing turn 1. So I pull the Gladiator in after, of course, revving the engine in the tunnel, which, sorry, Mike.
Of course.
At one point, he texted me when he was following me. He goes, please don't pound on it so hard. And I felt so bad. He was right. Like, oh, I didn't even realize like I was doing it. But oh my gosh, like that Jeep is just, that engine sounds so good. As a gearhead, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
So I park it and I'm looking and I was like, man, it looks like a ginormous just wall. And it was the turn. I didn't realize like that was the actual turn. I mean, it is literally just up and down. I can't believe cars even stick to that. So it was really neat to be able to face that with the Beast and look at it and then hike the mile it took me to get to the Jeep booth. Because of course they were a mile apart. It is one of the longest shows that happens every year.
So you need to talk to Mike about getting a gear Segway.
Right? Or, oh my God. So they rent scooters. At these big shows, you can actually rent a scooter.
That's nice. Yeah.
But my favorite ride came from Nemesis, actually early one morning. It is 7:30 in the morning. The sun is coming up. I'm walking from dropping the Beast off to the Jeep booth. And all of a sudden I hear EDM music, electric dance music, and it's Sandstorm, the song. And you guys probably know what it is, Sandstorm. And I turn around and there's Delilah, the mail truck that Nemesis drove from Moab to Daytona on a 2,200 mile Odyssey.
This is that orange vehicle that you sent me a picture of.
AJ, you had to have initials to be in that vehicle, I swear. JT and AJ. And they were coming up behind me and they ended up giving me a ride to the booth, which was great. But blasting Sandstorm, waking everybody up, Nemesis doing their frat boy thing. It was amazing. And then Delilah, she was a stowaway on my truck on the ride home. So what started as a joke turned into reality. And now here we are.
I think you sent me a picture of that, the whole vehicle with all the Jeeps on it. And I think you were still in transit. And I don't think about things. I just say things.
Yeah.
And I sent you, I'd be nervous towing that much money.
There was so much money. Yes, from the Gladiator to the gear, and then Delilah, the 40-foot bumper pull, which apparently is a rarity. But thank you to Ross Trailers. They helped me so much. So you can actually, I was able to rent a 40-foot bumper pull with the Enterprise Ram 5500 rental as well, because everything is still in Moab. Yeah, I had to rent everything because we left everything in Moab. Didn't think, it was going to take a turn for what it is. And now here we are. And it was the day I left. I was working on finding all these things to rent. But yeah, a rental of a 40-foot bumper pull. It was interesting. Let me tell you.
Well, that's nice. I mean, I know it's expensive, but that's nice from the standpoint about other than the inconvenience and no AC. Who cares if it breaks down? It's not mine.
Right. I will say it was a brand new Ram though. And I was so impressed. But I didn't realize, that Nemesis.
I love full-size pickups, and I can just well imagine.
Nice.
The last one I had was like 92, so I can well imagine. Yeah,
air brakes. The air brakes were epic. That was extremely helpful. So Delilah and her little trailer added about 2,000 pounds extra. And at that point, I still didn't feel it. Like, I just was like, just put it on there. And now she's here in Cincinnati. Come see her at High Lift Off Road. She'll be here for a little bit. And JT apparently is flying in, and he's going to take it to the East Coast. So he was able to fly home and see his family. So why not? Why not help a little bit? And Michael Bailey rode home with me. That was a first. That man, I can't believe it.
Yeah, and I'm just going to mention this again because this is going to happen again.
Yeah.
So Michael Bailey has never listened to an episode of the Jeep Talk Show.
He hasn't.
When you're a pilot in command and you're driving on a multi-hour trip, all you have to do is press the play button.
You're so right. Why did I not think of that? I mean, because I was listening to like a wide variety. He goes, "This is the music you listen to," and I'm like, "Yeah."
And then when you're playing the Jeep Talk Show, and he goes, "What is this shit?" You go, "Shh,
shh, listen.
This is my show. I'm listening."
Right? That's my voice you're hearing. Hello. Oh my God.
So much
I'll hold
fun.
him hostage again. Don't worry.
So, what was the, did you get to ride on the track did you get to drive on the track?
So on the straight track I did, but not on the actual, Daytona Speedway. But I did take the gear on the front stretch for a second. I was doing some photography. I had Mike drive it up there. I was like, come on. What the worst they tell us is get off the track. So because of where we were right there. And there's that yellow line. I just couldn't stand it. Take it over the yellow line, Mike. So he did. We got some great pictures with the main grandstand right there. And then had to pull it off the track, of course. But they do actually do a ride. I think it's on Wednesday. That was the day I got in. But Wednesday, they allow you to come on the track and drive. But you don't go on the turn, but you get to go on the track and stay on like the skirt. So it's pretty neat. You get to actually drive around Daytona.
Yeah. So, you've mentioned Maxis several times, and I have not heard I haven't heard the special word, Rosie. So Rosie was there, right?
She was in Moab, not Easter not Daytona. A lot of people had to make choices because they were so close.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. But you got to see her at EJS, right?
I did. And I found the Easter egg from Trail Hero and Maxis and Warren that they put in the Maxis booth. Randomly, I just saw this like weird.
And you said, what the hell is that?
Well, it was the Warren logo. It was actually on Delilah, like shoved up underneath the bumper. And I was like, that's a weird fog light. Like, I actually thought it was like a light cover.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, that's so weird. And I just went to, because you can't help but like touch it. Like, let me just touch it. And I touched it and she started screaming, you won. And I was like, what? And she goes, pull that out. And I was like, oh my God.
So the Jeep literally started yelling at you.
It
was a magic Jeep.
It was a magic Jeep in Rosie's epic voice. And so, we got to take pictures with it. And it was really cool. There were some cool gifts in there from Warren and Maxis and Nemesis. So pretty neat. So it was like gloves and a face shield from Maxis and a really cool patch. And it was neat. It was fun. But so seeing Rosie was great.
It wasn't, it was last year. Last year's EJS, I did an interview with Rosie.
You did.
That was a lot of fun. She tried to bully her way out of it. She wanted somebody else to do the interview. And I said, no. I said, I have to have Rosie with the Rosie accent.
Yes.
And, the whole thing, I met her for the first time. Actually, Julianne introduced me to her in 2023 at one of the restaurants there. So it was really fun. And I got to interview her last year. So, she's really, really good.
So, yes, we are very grateful to be part of the Maxis family. And to be able to, assist her with vehicles whenever we can. And, she was great about me putting the Gladiator in their booth. And because at one point we weren't sure, because I didn't have a trailer to pull all these vehicles. And then all of a sudden I did. And she was, yes, put it in there. I was like, thank you so much. So it was very cool. Very, very cool.
So we're not done. We're not necessarily done and wrapping up here, but what's the next event that the gear vehicles are going to be at?
So next event,
and if you don't know yet, that's fine. You can say it's up in the air.
For sure is Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, where the gear was born. So I will be in the Jeep Performance Parts booth. The gear will be with me in that booth inside the LeConte Center. So please check us out. With some other vehicles will be there too, but gear will be front and center in that booth again, which is pretty great because it is Jeep. That the gear represents everything that Jeep wants to do. It's bringing the adventure back to not only the customer but to the lifestyle, and that's part of the major point behind it.
Well, this is the whole idea behind this, in my mind anyway, is that you can get your customized Jeep from the dealership.
Yes.
So you can immediately start enjoying it. You may not be the type of individual that builds it yourself. You may not be the type of individual that you buy the parts and take it someplace to have it built. I mean, either of those things is fine. But if you just want to have a built Jeep, but you don't want another copy of a Rubicon. Right. You want it to be a little unique. I mean, there's going to be there's going to be more than one gear vehicle. Yes. But there's going to be a lot fewer gear vehicles than there are Rubicons. Yes. And to be able to have a numbered serialized vehicle. Yeah, no, that's great. So I know that we've talked about this before. You guys are not using Rubicons to turn into gear Jeeps because you're trying to keep the price down. So good. Gear 2, it sounds like you're going to. Okay. Gear 2, I prefer a Willie trim. So that, to me, that is the perfect gear 2, because it comes with the 17s and the 35 all-terrain, so you can do off-roading if you would like or not. Gear 1, we're still working on that package, but it's almost together. That'll be great for a sport for sure, or a Sahara. But honestly, the ways Stellantis and Jeep are pricing, I feel like right now understand, I still work for High Life Off-Road and gear vehicles, even though I fully support the program. But the pricing right now, like a Willie trim, right now that's $57,000 right off the lot, and a sport is around $54,000, $55,000 with automatic windows. So to me, go for that Willie trim that has the beefier axles. You already have a rear locker. Go for the Willie trim is, I think, transforming Jeep. And I bought sports my whole life. So right. Oh no, absolutely. I like doing the modifications myself or having them done. But so to already have that rear locker is it in the works? Yeah. Is it in the works where you may be doing a Rubicon gear vehicle? Gear 3 should always come on a Rubicon. Now, can a dealership order that package on a Willie trim? Yes. But good. But what if I can't stress it enough? It should only come on a Rubicon because of it's going to be re-geared to 488s. It seems like that's been what I've been hearing. No, that's a good idea. 37s,
you're
right?
So you're getting a re-geared Jeep already. Oh my gosh! I know. Yeah, it's it's done. I don't want to say by Jeep, but it has that backing. We are the official upfitter for JPP. Yeah. So it's not like you take it down to Joe Bob's gear shop, and I'm sure Joe Bob's a hell of a guy or a girl, and it is great. But it's not the same thing as having the vehicle manufacturer having that done. Even if it's not them, even if it's not done in the factory, correct. You guys have to jump through hoops for Jeep to say, you're blessed. It has been, there's been several. I feel like I've been on that agility course that, the Westminster dogs go through. That's what we've been doing. And we are ready, very, very ready. And we've already been doing this, right? Like my mechanics and the shop foreman, Matt Moss, they're ready to go. They've been doing this, and let's just do it on a national scale, global scale. We're ready. So, it just dawned on me. I'm probably the only one that thinks this. Yeah. This sounds like a hell of a deal for the Jeep Talk Show to be associated with you, Natalie. Oh, thank you. And I thought that it might be a good time to mention, none of this stuff was going on whenever you got associated. I mean, when you started doing stuff with the Jeep Talk Show, this all has happened after that. It did. So we're not sucking up to Natalie. No. If anything, I'm sucking up to you. Oh my gosh. Breaking news, special episode, guys.
Yeah. So Natalie just became part of the show and has been doing all this other stuff that's going on. And now she's doing this big deal with Jeep. And that's wonderful. This is the high quality type of people that we have and associate with us here on the Jeep Talk Show.
Tony, we just want to be your friend, buddy. We just want to be your friend and the Jeep Talk Show's friend. So here we are.
All right, Natalie.
If you dream it, Tony, we build it.
Oh, and I can dream.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So, was there anything else that you wanted to mention about the Daytona Beach get together? Was there something that you needed to touch base on? Or?
It was cool. I have to say, if you've never done it, I say at least do it once. The tiki party that gets put on is really fun at the Hard Rock Hotel, which is the official hotel of Jeep Beach. It's just like, everyone drives on the beach every day. You get to hang out with all your favorite, your industry friends. Now you leave Moab and then you come to the beach.
Oh, what a life. I mean, I know it's been hard with a lot of travel and stuff, but what a life.
It was. I mean, yes, I'm so lucky I get to do what I do, but guys, I lost my voice for a week. We all had the Moab crud, as we called it, lots of sinus infections, all the things going around. But Jeep Beach really is a neat experience to at least do once. All of a sudden there's Dennis Wood right there from Terraflex with
Dennis
Mark.
is great. I got to meet him at Moab as well.
He's so sweet. I had a great dinner with him. He's actually vegan, so it's always fun to watch him order at a restaurant. We were at a seafood restaurant called Krabby's, and I'm doing the peel and eat shrimp, and there he is with his epic salad with no cheese on it, because they even asked him, do you want cheese? And he goes, really? But it's just great to be able to see.
Well, there's all kinds of levels of vegan.
There is, and he's the highest level, let me tell you, and sticks to it. He's amazing. He does not waver. But Jeep Beach, I do recommend it. You got to go at least once, and it's pretty cool, be able to go on the beach like that, and there's all your people with their pop-up tents, and you're just hanging out, and the ladies look pretty great too. I'm not going to lie. And so do the guys. So it's a good time. I had fun, cool. Let me tell you.
Well, I'm glad we got to get you on here and talk about this stuff. And you were
I
actually
missed recording with you.
You were actually requested to talk about all the goings on. So which I thought was really, really cool.
Yes. Jeff Pratt with G Performance Parts, at one point we're, boiling in the tent at Daytona International Speedway. I say, guys, it is so hot on that concrete. I'm telling you, like, if you came and you braved it, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Jeff, at one point looked at me, he goes, Natalie, make sure you're going to talk about this stuff, right? Jeep Talk Show. I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to talk about it, Jeff. So thank you, Jeff, for giving us the idea. We really appreciate you wanting us to share all of our adventures on Jeep Talk Show. 5 episodes a week, guy.
Yeah, and we may be having you interviewing a few of these folks.
Maybe. Let's get in gear,
Yeah, Jeff included. That may be coming up very, very soon. So you need to, if you're not subscribed to the show, you need to subscribe.
You do.
I think everybody's heard about our YouTube channel being taken down, but we are still on YouTube, just under a different name now. It's kind of like on the down low.
It is.
Don't tell YouTube. It's xjtalk. XJ was the 2-letter designator for the Jeep Cherokee, the 89 through 2001 Jeep.
Yes, it was.
And XJ Talk, that's the name of the company that owns Jeep Talk Show. So you can just go to youtube.com/xjtalk and find all our videos. You need to go over there and subscribe, because we're trying to get back to the 9,000 we were at for the Jeep Talk Show.
Yes. I feel like it's actually, I love that it's XJ Talk now, because it's kind of fitting, because to me, I'm always like, XJ life, like, oh, there's the XJs. That's kind of us over here, I feel like. Yeah. We're the fun ones.
I guess I should put a YouTube channel up for Shitbox. So whenever the XJ Talk gets taken down.
Yep, go ahead and start it. It's fine.
Well, Natalie,
the Getting Gear podcast could be coming to a YouTube near you with XJ Talk.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it. I wasn't going to go that direction. I was going to hint around a little bit. So we're looking forward to that being a possibility, and it would be a great shot of the arm. And I need to get the Steer Smarts people and find out what the hell Jay's doing, because Jay's supposed to be making content for us as well. So
he is.
Did you see? Was Jay? I know Steer Smarts was out there. Did you see Jay?
I did. We all look the same. A little bit sunburned, a little bit sweaty. The Steer Smarts
sunburned on one side.
Yes, it was. Yeah, my driver's arm is so tan. tan, and the good old farmer tan going too. So, yes, but no, Jay was very busy. The show was so spread out. Like, that's the only thing about GP that made it a little hard. Like, that's where the Mid-America Off-Road Expo that happens here in Wilmington or Dayton, Ohio. I think now being at a bigger show versus that, where you have a lot of the same industry people, it's nice to have it be a little bit smaller, like in a more confined venue. Like, and
I think it's nice for the people that visit there too, because there's not a lot of walking. But sometimes the place where you have it is really neat, like Moab or
Daytona International Speedway. Yeah. I mean, it is cool, and they had the obstacle course going on, so you could actually ride with Jeep on one end of the course, and then the other side you could take your own Jeep. And someone actually, they did flop on that one, so that was interesting.
Really?
Yeah, they came into a loudspeaker as someone flopped, and I was like, ooh, PTSD, no. But yeah.
So let me. This may be too soon to ask about this, but you mentioned Mid-America. I know that you were at the Mid-America Expo. Do you see another one coming? Is that I think that was a success.
It was. I'm looking at the dates right now to make sure I get it right.
Because that was really cool. Chris went to that one. That was driving distance for him, and he went out there and did lots of interviews.
Yes.
So that was a lot of fun. I just don't know. I got to talk to Chris about who he's interviewing, because I think the winner of King of the Hammers was there.
Yes,
and we had no interview with with that guy.
Kyle Cheney, you didn't? Oh, well, he'll be back. So he is going to come back. He's actually selling his winning race car right now. It's up for sale. But the next year, so 2026.
I guess everything's for sale. That would be hard for me to do. Go ahead.
The red 2017 High Lift Off-Road JK is always for sale, just so everybody knows. And it's actually paid off as of Monday. Boop, boop, boop. No more financial. Oh, no. Finally.
We need to have a Murphy's Law discussion after this.
So just so you guys know, the Mid-America Off-Road Expo is actually changing. It's going to be a Friday-Saturday show this year, February 27th and 28th, 2026.
I think it's a good idea. Friday-Saturday is a good idea, because people like to get off on Friday anyway, and this is a good excuse.
For sure. And honestly, all the industry shows are always on Fridays and Saturdays. Mm-hmm. Sundays are reserved for travel, so we can all get home. So,
that's a great idea.
It is. I think it's going to be really good for the club, and it is presented by Muddy Buddies and or brought to you by Muddy Buddies. So yeah, maybe Jeep Talk Show will be the presenting sponsor. You never know.
Never can tell. All right, Natalie. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm glad that we got to get together and do this very different flagship episode. But I think that's what getting gear. And I think that this is just what you should expect. Always expect the unexpected.
That's right.
From the Jeep Talk Show.
I agree. Natalie's back with Tony. I love it.
All right. Any parting thoughts? You want to work that? If you can dream it, we can make believe, or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. All right. You ready? You guys ready for this epic? Here's an elevator pitch. All right. Well, I'm Natalie from High Lift Off-Road, where you dream it and we build it, along with Gear Vehicles. Find us at gearvehicles.com and all where you get your socials: Facebook, Instagram, Threads. That's the new one. And YouTube at Gear Vehicles and High Lift Off-Road. And Tony, I look forward to seeing you again and getting in gear.
Yep. And we look forward to seeing you on the Chic Chat episodes.
Thank you. Me too. Janet, I'm coming, girl. Team B.
All right, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being here with us, and we'll see you again. I mean, like Natalie said earlier, 5 days a week. You can see us pretty much anytime you want.
You can.
Broadcasting since 2010.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.